Hi, I'm going to give you an introduction to my social confidence system. In 18 steps, I'll show you how to become completely anxiety-free, feel confident and good about yourself, and relaxed and at ease in all social situations, so that you can finally enjoy conversations with others, have fun in social situations, connect with others easily and naturally, and just build the social life that you really want for yourself. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you've already absorbed the information on my homepage, and so you know my story, you know how I had social anxiety disorder myself very intensely, and that nothing worked for me to overcome it, no tool, technique, therapy, nothing worked, and that I really tried hard, and that I eventually stumbled onto EFT, emotional freedom techniques, and that helped me to fully overcome my social anxiety disorder. And that from that, I started educating myself to become a coach myself, and that I've been coaching people for more than 3 years, and from those insights I created the social anxiety disorder structure. Now that's what my social confidence system is based upon, I'm gonna go through that in the social confidence system. Now it's sequential, as in one step leads to the next, to the next, to the next, but sometimes you go back and forth in the system depending on what comes up for you. Now, it's 18 steps, and that might seem a lot, and it might seem like you have to put in a lot of effort, and that is because you actually do, alright? This is not a quick fix. If you are looking for a quick fix, I suggest you go somewhere else, because that is not what I'm about. If those quick fixes are there, then I would have known about it, because I've really looked for everything, and I've read about the one secret, the one mindset, this one audio tape that you listen to, or state changer, or whatever. I tried all of that, and that doesn't work. What I have to offer you is a program with which you can really overcome your social anxiety completely, but you do have to put in the work. Now, even though you need your dedication and your energy and your effort to overcome it, you will get changes really quickly. Alright? So you notice the changes pretty quickly, because EFT is amazing and things go really, really fast. Okay? So, and also one thing that you might have noticed with other things you might have tried, therapies, that you're really motivated in the beginning, but then after a while, like your willpower fizzles out. You have these great goals, and you know that you're really going to do it this time, but after a couple of days you don't feel like it, or you postpone, or you don't have the energy for it, or you don't feel like it, or you say you'll do it tomorrow, or whatever excuse you may come up with. Now that's because of the resistance, and that's actually one of the first things that we address in the social confidence system, so that you get rid of that, because then your subconscious mind, the one who is really in control, knows that it is safe and beneficial for you to become socially confident, free of any anxiety. And then going through the system, you'll be clear-headed, clear-minded, and you actually like it, because step by step you notice that you're becoming less anxious and more confident, and you feel inspired to keep going until the end. Okay? So while right now it might look like it's a lot of work, and it is to a degree, you'll start to really enjoy doing it. Okay? Now, knowing all that, enjoy what you're going to see.
Now here we see the social confidence system version 6.0. Now to the right here you can see the navigation bar with all the 18 steps, and as I start to scroll down, you can see here that I start out with some rules to follow, which are basically best practice rules which prepare you for the best possible results. Now, and then as we get here, we get to the area where I start introducing you to EFT, emotional freedom techniques, as this is the main technique we'll be using in the social confidence system to overcome your anxiety. Now you might have already heard about it, but EFT is a psychological form of acupuncture. But instead of using needles, we tap with the tips of our fingers on specific acupressure points on the body. Now, when you do this tapping, while you're being focused on any negative emotion you experience, such as embarrassment, fear, anxiety, anger, and so on, any negative emotion, the negative emotion disappears. Now, I know that this sounds unbelievable and maybe even odd, but when you apply this in the right way, it really works and it will dramatically improve your life. When I first saw EFT on a YouTube video, actually, in 2005, I thought it was the biggest nonsense ever, and there were probably some scammy marketer that was trying to make some quick money out of other people's misery. But eventually I got curious enough to do some research. Now, initially I looked for evidence that it was a scam, but to my surprise I found that thousands upon thousands of people had written testimonials claiming that EFT cured their challenge, that no other therapy had seemed to work for. And in most of the testimonials, the people were raving about how little time it took them. Now, EFT turned out to be the real deal, and science now shows that with EFT tapping, we send a calming signal to the part of our brain called the amygdala, which is responsible for firing up the fight, flight, or freeze response, which puts our body in stress. And negative emotion is all some form of stress. Now, what the tapping does is it releases this stress, and as it releases the stress, the negative emotion disappears. Now, EFT is successfully used for working with war veterans who suffer from the most intense forms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. I used it to overcome my own social phobia, and it's the single most powerful technique that I use to help my clients become socially confident, and I have been successfully doing so for the past 3 years. Now, it's scientifically proven to work. It's used by millions of people worldwide. It's endorsed by PhDs, MDs, and I found EFT to be by far the most efficient and effective technique to overcome social anxiety disorder. And you can learn more about the link that you see here below. Okay, good. So that's my little plug for EFT. Now, here at this area, you'll get a quick introduction to it, so you know exactly what to expect and how to use it effectively. And then here you find 2 links, one explaining in detail what it is, and the other linking you to the latest scientific research, in case you're interested in that. And then here we find the 18 steps of social confidence. Now, it's 18 steps, but step 1 and 2 you can already skip, assuming that you have read and understood all that you found on my homepage, as I go into detail on it on my homepage. And here at step 3, now if I were to go there, you would get the online social anxiety disorder test by Michael Libowitz, the most well-recognized social anxiety disorder test. Now, you do this test in the beginning, basically before you start doing anything, so you have a measurement of where you are today before starting, so you know how bad your social anxiety disorder is. And then as you go through the program and you become less and less anxious and you feel more and more confident, you can measure your progress as you go along. And as you're doing this, you're measuring your progress as opposed to where you started rather than where you're going. Because if you look at the future, you look at your goal and you see how you're not there yet, that might be, that might be discouraging, if that's a word. And if you look at the past and you see the progress that you've made, that will encourage you to keep going and help you to keep you motivated as you go through the program. Good. So then we go to step number 4, the social confidence, self-image, and goal. Now, here you see an article that you'll download and read and then do the exercises to help you create a new self-image and a social confidence goal. Now, we do this because in your subconscious mind, which is the deeper, more powerful part of your mind that's really in control, you hold an image there of yourself, and that image you have formed as you were growing up all the way up until now, and it's called your self-image. Now, we always act in the way that we see ourselves. We always act in line with this self-image. Now, it's likely that you don't have a clear picture of what this self-image is, but it's always your self-image that's causing your anxiety. Now, the goal of the social confidence system is to change this self-image to one that gives you social confidence and have that confidence feel natural to you. Now, that process starts here. In this article, you'll be guided to create a socially confident self-image and a new life story for yourself. Now, by doing this, you'll feel motivated by the crystal clear picture of a socially confident you and, the inspired vision of your life after you change. Now, once you've done this, you move on to step 5, subconscious resistance. Now, as you have created this new self-image and life story, there's often a lot of resistance that may come up. Might be resistance that you're aware of, by the way, or resistance that you're not directly aware of. Subconscious resistance. Now, common resistances include fear of change, fear of moving beyond your comfort zone, the worry that you can never be anxiety-free, that you're not worthy of social confidence, or that you don't deserve it. Or, maybe some part of you doesn't want to be socially confident. You believe that people who are socially confident are also arrogant or superficial. Or maybe you don't know who you would be if you were socially confident, or how you would act, or that it's not safe to be that way for you, or many other possible resistances. Over the years coaching people, I've uncovered 26 common resistances to being socially confident. And you find each and every one of those 26 common resistances on this page, along with EFT audio tap-alongs, where you simply follow my instructions to move beyond each and every one resistance one by one. And it's very easy. You simply play them, you listen what I say, you follow along, you'll be instructed where to tap. It's really easy, you can't make any mistakes. Okay? And then in the article Subconscious Resistance, there are also 16 questions to uncover any unique resistance you may have you may have. And that's along with specific written EFT protocols to move past each and every one of them completely. Now, after you've released all the resistance, you'll be free of procrastination and everything else in the way of you going through the exercises towards social confidence. Because it's this resistance that is robbing you of energy. It's your subconscious. If your subconscious mind doesn't think it's safe and beneficial for you to change, it will not give you the energy to do the things that need to happen in order to change. So, So as you have released all that resistance, your conscious mind, the part of your mind that you want to overcome your social anxiety with, and your subconscious mind, the much more powerful part of you which is really in control, they both agree that social confidence is safe and what's best for you. So after this, you will not only feel great relief, but you also feel clear-minded and energized and actually excited as you go through the rest of the social confidence system. You won't be sabotaging yourself anymore. Good, and then we go to step 6, acceptance 1, where we separate the social anxiety from your identity. Now, few people manage to actually overcome their social anxiety disorder because they don't want to accept themselves unless they are free of social anxiety. Now, the big paradox is that you can only be free of social anxiety once you accept yourself as you are right now. Acceptance comes first. Okay, you cannot change the things that you don't accept. So when you don't accept yourself and you don't accept your social anxiety and your situation, you cannot become socially confident. There's a common saying in psychology, and that is, what you resist persists. So as long as you resist accepting yourself, your social anxiety, your situation, it persists. However, what you accept, you gain control over. So that's why we start with acceptance. Now, we work to achieve this in step 6, 7, and 8. It consists of 3 parts. Now, to start on this road to acceptance, we begin by separating yourself from the problem of social anxiety. So we use EFT to get you from a place of, I'm a socially anxious person and therefore I'm unacceptable, to a place of, I'm an acceptable person and I have a challenge with social anxiety. Now, this will make it easier to accept yourself and the problem of social anxiety. Now, you achieve this by watching this video right here and following my EFT instructions and saying out loud what I say, and then after that doing the audio that is below it. Now it's simple, and you'll likely notice a gentle shift, or maybe a profound shift, towards acceptance. Okay, good, and then we go to step number 7. Okay, good, and then we go to step number 7, acceptance number 2, transparency and acceptance. Now here you continue to work on fully accepting both your social anxiety and yourself. Now, a problem we often face when we're socially anxious is that we're afraid that people will notice our anxiety symptoms. You know, we're afraid that they'll see our nervousness, that they hear the insecurity in our voice, that they see our heart maybe even beating, and so on. And we feel the need to hide our anxiety. Now, as a result of this makes us even more anxious, because the moment we notice our anxiety, we start to become afraid of other people seeing it. And that actually triggers even stronger anxiety. You know, I'm sure you can relate to this. Yeah, I had a lot of that. You know, I didn't want anyone to see me being anxious, because that would mean that I was weak and that I was not good enough, and so on. Now, the solution to this is acceptance. So here at this step, you find a variety of exercises for letting go of your fear of people noticing your discomfort and anxiety. You go through a series of guided visualizations where people and groups notice your anxiety and confront you about it. Now, you then have EFT audio tap-alongs where I tell you where to tap, what to say, simply following my lead. Now, this addresses all the angles that may come up for you when you imagine people noticing your anxiety, all the negative feelings, all the negative emotions, and all the beliefs. Now, by following the exercise, simply saying what I say, tapping where I instruct you to tap, you'll get to a place of full acceptance of others noticing your anxiety. Now, this results in massive freedom, because now you no longer have to hide it. Now, that of course doesn't mean that you'll be showing off your anxiety symptoms, if there is a way to do that, or that people will notice them more. Not at all. It just means that if or when anxiety comes up for you, that you accept it, and it doesn't trigger any stronger anxiety inside of you. And you could say that you won't care anymore. Now, you'll still care in the way that you want to overcome it completely, but you won't care as much anymore when people notice your anxiety. And this allows you to care a whole lot less about what other people think of you. And this, of course, raises your confidence, and this is just the beginning. We're just getting started. Now, then there's also an EFT tapping exercise. Yeah, great. EFT tapping exercise where you rehearse a reply to people noticing you feeling uncomfortable. There's one to releasing your fear about the consequences that you imagine of people or groups finding out about your anxiety. And there's an exercise to release your fear of becoming anxious in a social situation. Now, all of this brings you to a calm acceptance of people noticing your anxiety, which is a big initial step to freedom. Okay, great. So then we get to step number 8, acceptance 3. Okay, great. So then we get to step number 8, acceptance 3. Your feelings and beliefs about your social anxiety, about yourself, and about your situation. So here we're continuing the acceptance work. We start with an article that demonstrates the structure of negative limiting beliefs, which, as you've learned, are the foundations of social anxiety. But this teaches us how to take out negative limiting beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I must be perfect to be accepted, people are mean enough to get me, and so on. Likely you've seen the video of it already, so you know what I'm talking about. Now then we look at another article which deepens your understanding of what acceptance of self and acceptance of the problem of social anxiety really means, and why it is so essential to get to this place of acceptance. Now, after you go through an EFT tapping sequence to release all your... After that, you go through an EFT tapping sequence to release all the feelings you have about dealing with social anxiety and all the feelings you have about yourself for having it. So you're letting go of the shame, the embarrassment, the frustration, the anger, the depressed feelings, and so on. Now, after this, we shift your beliefs about yourself for having it, and you let go of all the feelings and beliefs about the details of your situation. Now, after all this tapping, you'll arrive at a place of complete acceptance, which will feel pretty incredible. Now, then comes a video right here where I explain how certain people and situations may still trigger anxiety in you, and that is to be expected, as we didn't address it yet. It will come later on in the social confidence system. In fact, it will come after this step. So it is to be expected because we haven't treated it yet. Okay? So you also find the tapping formula here and an article for handling emotions after social events. Now this way, with these two resources, you can keep the acceptance in place as you go through the rest of the social confidence system. Excellent. So step 7, 8, and 9 was dealing with acceptance. Here we're going to shift the focus to dealing with the painful past where we actually learned our social anxiety. So we're going to get rid of all the causes of the social anxiety itself. So we're going to start with step number 9. Re-imprint the ISEE. Now, ISEE stands for Initial Significant Emotional Event. Now, there will almost always have been an experience from your past that kickstarted your social anxiety. It could have been a steady stream of bullying, could have been hardships within your family relationships, your dad or your mom, your siblings, or even just a single painful experience from childhood. Now, it may be a rather small experience when you think back to it now, and it may even be something that you're not aware of just yet, but you will uncover it as you follow along with the exercises. You'll learn how to find it and why it's so important to treat. Now, we use different exercises to track down this experience, and then we use EFT to take out the negative emotions, and finally, we change the negative limiting beliefs you learned there into positive ones. Now, after this, after all this clearing, all this changing, we take this memory that used to have negative emotions in it, and we use an exercise, various exercises, you can actually take your pick, whichever suits you best, to flood that formerly negative memory with positive feelings, so that it becomes a transformed memory which has a positive feel to it. And by doing this, you start to lay down the neural pathways for social confidence. You start to form a socially confident neural network. Now, all of this is explained with plenty of examples and color coding to make things extra simple, okay? And then we're ready for step number 2. Okay, and then we're ready for step number 10, which is the bundling baggage childhood and self-esteem. Here, we'll start out looking at an article which explains how vulnerability to developing social anxiety disorder often stems from early childhood. I'll give you 20 examples of how former clients develop this vulnerability. Now here, we'll start out looking at an article which explains how vulnerability to developing social anxiety disorder often stems from early childhood. I'll give you 20 examples of how former clients develop this vulnerability, and I'll help you uncover the past pain which may be at the root of your anxiety. Now, this prepares you for the EFT tapping video, where you're guided to release all your negative emotions and limiting beliefs, which were learned through the repetitive negative experiences from childhood. Now, after this powerful exercise, which will make a huge shift, usually, we will go through 3 more powerful EFT exercises to change your lower self-esteem to solid high self-esteem. After completing this, you'll experience a major improvement in how good you feel about yourself. You'll feel more compassion and respect towards yourself. You'll be more trusting of your decisions. You'll feel better about being you, and you'll feel more confident. Now, after completing this, you experience like a huge improvement in how good you feel about yourself, because you've eliminated experiences that made you feel bad about yourself, and you go back to your natural feeling state, which is feeling good about yourself. That's how you're born. It's just those beliefs that make you feel bad. So after these exercises, you'll feel more compassion and respect towards yourself. You'll be more trusting of your decisions, and you just feel a lot better about being you. And as a result, you feel a lot more confident and a lot less anxious. Okay, great. So then we're going to step number 11. Re-imprint all SEEs, significant emotional experiences or negative memories, regarding social anxiety and related. So we're going to deal with aspects and triggers. Now here we're going to eliminate your most painful past experiences. So think about bullying, abuse, your biggest rejections, your most embarrassing moment, your biggest disappointments, experiences you wish that never happened, and so on. Now, in the easy way that you learned earlier in the social confidence system, at step 9, you release the negative emotions of all these experiences, you change the negative limiting beliefs to positive ones, and you follow a guided audio to flood the memories with a positive feeling. So, again, so that the neural pathways for social confidence strengthen and social confidence starts to feel more and more natural to you. So you continue that at step 11. Now then we get to step number 12. Here we're going to start with the addiction to anxiety protocol. Now, emotions are very addictive chemicals. And when you've experienced anxiety for a long time, the cells that make up your body have literally become addicted to the chemical of anxiety. Now, there's a specific EFT protocol that you follow to release this addiction. Now, this frees up your cells to become addicted to new emotions, such as confidence and joy. And we get to step number 13, general polarity reversal. Now, I'm not going to explain this because it's very rare, but here you will read some basic information about it, and that's for when nothing seems to work. Now, it's very rare. I've never encountered it myself, never encountered it in all my coaching, but I wanted to put it in the social confidence system just for completion so that all areas are covered, okay? Now, if you deal with a general polarity reversal, it's actually very easy to change it, and in this article, you'll find the exact and easy steps to overcome it. Okay, good. So moving on to step number 14, subconscious resistance, social confidence. So what you're going to do here is you're going to go back to the subconscious resistance notes in your workbook, because you're going through a workbook, you're using a workbook as you go through the social confidence system. You note everything down. So you go back and you check to see if any resistance still remains or if new resistance has surfaced. Now, if you still have any resistance, you follow the steps to let go of that completely. You're guided through that. Now, this guarantees that your subconscious mind won't sabotage your efforts and your social confidence will be permanent. Okay, good. So we get to step number 15, social anxiety, fears, and beliefs. Now, a lot of the work in the social confidence system has been leading up to prepare you for this exercise. Now, even though once you get to this step in the system, you've released a lot of anxiety already and you feel a lot more confident already, what you've just been doing is you've been getting to a place of acceptance of what's going on, and you've been getting rid of the causes, the reasons as to why the anxiety is there, but you haven't treated the fears and the beliefs itself. Okay, so here you'll read an article where you will be instructed to bundle all your social anxiety beliefs and fears together. So think about the fear of embarrassment, the fear of humiliation, saying something stupid, not being liked, and so on. And the beliefs such as people are mean, I'm not good enough, I have to be perfect to be accepted, I can't trust others, people don't like me, people are out to get me, I have to be the best to be good enough, and so on. Now, you bundle all of them together, and then you follow a guided visualization. It's very simple. You don't have to be good at visualizing. It's really, really easy. Okay. After this, you tap along with the subtitled EFT video to remove everything in one fell swoop. Okay, it's about a 30-minute video. Now, after this, either all or nearly all of your social anxiety is eliminated. Okay, this is the big one. Now, after this, you go to step number 16, social confidence, fears, and beliefs. Now, at this Okay, so we're just doing this step again. Here we go. Now, a lot of the work in the social confidence system has been leading up to prepare you for this exercise. Now, even though once you get to this step in the system, you've released a lot of anxiety already and you feel a lot more confident already, what you've just been doing is you've been getting to a place of acceptance of what's going on, and you've been getting rid of the causes, the reasons as to why the anxiety is there, but you haven't treated the fears and the beliefs itself. Okay, so here you'll read an article where you will be instructed to bundle all your social anxiety beliefs and fears together. So think about the fear of embarrassment, the fear of humiliation, saying something stupid, not being liked, and so on. And the beliefs such as people are mean, I'm not good enough, I have to be perfect to be accepted, I can't trust others, people don't like me, people are out to get me, I have to be the best to be good enough, and so on. Now, you bundle all of them together, and then you follow a guided visualization. It's very simple. You don't have to be good at visualizing. It's really, really easy. Okay. After this, you tap along with the subtitled EFT video to remove everything in one fell swoop. Okay, it's about a 30-minute video. Now, after this, either all or nearly all of your social anxiety is eliminated. Okay, this is the big one. Now, after this, you go to step number 16, social confidence, fears, and beliefs. Now, at this step, I'm asking you a series of questions to uncover any possible remaining resistance to being permanently socially confident, because even though you won't feel any anxiety anymore at this point, even when you try to get it back, there might still be some resistance, and if there's still resistance, then your subconscious mind will sabotage yourself, and the resistance may come back. So here we uncover any remaining resistance, and then we release it by following along with the video. Awesome. So then we get to step number 17, which is also an essential step, and that step is called non-scary exposures. NSEs. Now, what you're going to do here is you're going to make a list of the situations that you would often avoid due to your social anxiety. And once that written list is done, you'll pick one of the situations to check if there's still any worry, any doubt, any fear, any anticipatory anxiety or limiting beliefs connected to it. If there is, you use several specific EFT tapping protocols to move beyond that completely, and so that you feel completely confident and peaceful thinking about facing that situation, going through it. Now then you actually face the event with confidence, free from fear in real life. Now, which is basically a non-scary exposure. It won't be scary to do it, but you will be exposing yourself to new situations. And doing this broadens your comfort zone, right? Because you're doing new stuff, and you'll be like, hey, wow, this is great, I'm doing this now. That raises your self-esteem, and it solidifies as well that social confidence neural pathways. Now, all of this is designed to start making social confidence and just feeling confident feel natural to you. Okay, this is also great because you won't feel any hesitation about attending future events, because you already have the tools here to move beyond any fear, negative emotion, or limiting belief. Now then we get to step 18, final step of the social confidence system, which is called solidifying social confidence. Now, you will find here a powerful range, which is basically all bonus, of EFT-related exercises designed to cement and build on your social confidence. Now, these exercises solidify the social confidence neural pathways, making confidence your natural state of being. Now, throughout the social confidence system, you've been breaking down this socially anxious self-image. With these last exercises, the socially confident self-image that you created will become rock solid, as well as this is the place where you're really gonna start to bring into your reality, into your world, your socially confident goal. Okay? So this leads you to the achievement of permanent social confidence. Now you might still have some small triggers here and there, but it will be very insignificant, and they won't have that same power to cause upset, and they can be used as opportunities for further growth because you have all the tools to move beyond it. Okay, so when I had dealt with most of my social anxiety, when I felt I was free of social anxiety, sometimes, maybe once in a few weeks, I'd get triggered by something and I'd feel anxious. And instead of getting all upset about it, it's like, oh my God, I still have social anxiety, blah, blah, it'd be like, oh great, right, I found another little trigger, I know how to treat it now, and then simply I would treat it and would go on with life, and that specific situation wouldn't trigger me anymore. And then the next time, it might took me 5 to 6 weeks before I finally found something new. Okay, and eventually you run out of triggers, right? So, and then you're totally done with it. Like, I haven't gotten triggered in, I don't know, 2-3 years now. Okay, so eventually there's an end to it. Now, after all of this, the weight of social anxiety will have been lifted. The natural freedom of connecting with others and being yourself, having fun, and actually enjoying relationship will simply be who you are. Okay? That's the place that you're getting to.
Now, by going through the social confidence system, you'll be able to become completely free of social anxiety without having to force yourself to do the things that scare you or make you feel embarrassed. Because instead, you will be using EFT in the right way, and you'll be doing non-scary exposures where you comfortably face the situations that would formerly scare or embarrass you. You'll feel better and you'll get results fast because we use the most effective and efficient techniques from the best therapies and methods out there, and they're put on steroids because I've combined them with the most powerful technique of them all, EFT. So you'll broaden your comfort zone, you'll raise your confidence, and eliminate your social anxiety in the most comfortable yet most effective and efficient way possible. You'll feel comfortable and at ease in all social situations, actually having fun in them. You'll overcome excessive negative emotions. You'll finally neutralize shame and embarrassment, and you stop blushing, panicking, and sweating. You eliminate your painful past and you make peace with it so it doesn't hurt or haunt you any longer. You'll release any upset, anxiety, or shame related to certain key negative people from your past. So you won't fear running into these people any longer because you know you can calmly face them. And you'll destroy your fear of rejection. You'll feel comfortable when you're the center of attention, and you'll calmly deal with criticism. And as you go through it, you'll create high self-esteem, where you feel good about being you. You know, you get to a place where you fully accept yourself at the deepest core of your being, where you feel really great about yourself, comfortable in your own skin, feeling worthy and more than good enough, trusting, respecting, and liking yourself. You'll stop caring about what others think of you, which is a big result of that high self-esteem. You'll feel confident and be yourself around anyone and everyone. And it includes attractive people, groups of people, strangers, people in authority, and quote-unquote cool or successful people. You'll enjoy socializing. You'll make and maintain eye contact naturally and effortlessly, and you'll have a great time meeting new people. You'll finally feel like you belong, like part of the group. You finally feel normal. And you feel safe having close, connected, and rewarding relationships with others. You'll be able to create great friendships and design the social life that you really enjoy. And, you know, instead of dreading them and worrying about them days before, you actually look forward to social events and dinners and get-togethers, birthday parties, you know, your own birthday, weddings, and so on. You'll have the freedom to conquer any area of interest that was formerly too scary, such as, you know, starting a new hobby, dating, getting an intimate relationship, travel, advance your career, and so on. You'll gain the tools and the understanding to easily achieve and maintain emotional health. You'll stop feeling lonely and frustrated, and finally you'll be in control of your emotions and your emotional state. You'll stop beating yourself up for not living your potential, and you finally start living your potential. You will be at ease anywhere you go, and you finally feel safe and free in the world, and you can do the things that you like because you want to,
without fearing what other people think or fearing their disapproval. You will finally get to enjoy social confidence for the rest of your life. Because once you help yourself overcome your social anxiety, it is gone, as in gone forever, never to return.
Now, the social confidence system comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you got nothing to risk. If you don't feel that you've got much more than you had hoped for, if you don't feel totally satisfied, then you can simply send me an email and I'll happily refund your money. Now, I'm making this offer to you on video because I know that when you put in the effort and you follow the easy and effective, proven to work step-by-step structure in the social confidence system, you will soon have the confidence to create the relationships, the social life, and the fun and everything that you really desire. Now, aside from that, if you ever get stuck in the social confidence system and you can't move past a certain point, even after trying the troubleshooting, which is very unlikely and very rare, then you'll have email access to me. You can simply send me an email with your question and I'll happily answer it for you. So you've got nothing to lose because there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll have email access to me personally in case you get stuck, and you'll persist until the end because we deal with any resistance at the beginning of the social confidence system. So you'll stick this one out until the end. Now you can get started today releasing your social anxiety and being on the journey to feeling naturally confident in social situations. So just click on the button below this video and you can get started within minutes from now. So click on the button below this video, invest in yourself, and I'll talk to you from within the social confidence system.